What's got you down, brother?
I'm stuck at this dead-end job.
I hear you. I've been working the coal mines for 30 years.
So you get it. And I was supposed to get a raise, but they left me high and dry.
Reminds me of when all those coal miners banded together because we were getting lung cancer, but we got our $2 more an hour.
Lucky.
Don't sell yourself short now, brother. You can strike too.
You're right. Thanks, random drunk bar guy. James Harden is going on strike.
What's up, YouTuberverse? It's your boy RB back again for another one. Before we get started, I just wanted to let you guys know that my little sister did have a pretty bad car accident with her baby in the car. My niece is fine, but my sister is banged up pretty badly. Needed to have surgery. She is going to be okay, but the whole situation has thrown our whole family for a loop. I've spent the entire day on the phone with relatives, and it's just been a long, crazy day, and there's not too much else I can do. From Philly, she's all the way in Kentucky, so not really in the mood to do this video, but anything that I can do to kind of take my mind off things, I guess. So yeah, whatever you do, whether you pray or sing good vibes or good juju or thoughts or whatever you do, you appreciate any of that coming our way. It's been a crazy day for our family, so any thoughts and prayers you can send our way, we'd really appreciate that. But let's get started here. James Harden has been fined $100,000 for calling Daryl Morey a liar. So let's talk about it. Nuance Machine, episode 55. Let's kick it. All right, before we get started, please hit that like and subscribe button. Also, please check out my shop, breezysprints.com, where you can find all original designs printed on high-quality tees, tank tops, sweatshirts, and hoodies. All designs are done by yours truly, and without further ado, let's get into it. James Harden is just the worst, man. And it looks like the NBA has finally just had enough of this guy. And honestly, James Harden could find himself out of the league if he's not careful. I know that sounds hyperbolic, but it's not that far-fetched. How does that saying go? Like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, I'm still the fool, or whatever it was George Bush said.
Fool me once, shame on you. If fool me, we can't get fooled again.
Look, man, nobody wants James Harden. Nobody wants James Harden. Nobody. Not even the Sixers. We don't even want him. I think there are some teams out there that would take James Harden, but nobody actually wants him. Like, nobody actually covets James Harden. Like how Miami covets Dame. Nobody feels that way about James Harden. And this is the boat the Sixers are in. Like, we'll take you, James, because you picked up your option, but we really don't have any better options at the moment. That's the only reason we would take you. We're not giving you a long-term deal. We don't want you. We just want you to finish this contract and get the hell out of our hair, please. James Harden will never get another long-term deal ever again. Like, this is it. This is it. No owner in the NBA would want to put up with this. I mean, if you're an NBA franchise and you give James Harden a long-term contract, you're a goddamn fool. What was it that Einstein said? Like, if you keep doing the same thing and you expect different results, then that's insanity. Like, NBA owners are not just going to keep giving James Harden all this money and all these huge contracts when he keeps doing this over and over and over and over and over again. And honestly, we always talk about how you don't want to let your star players leave for free agency without getting anything in return. Like, that's the reason why most players during their final year of their contract, they'll either get traded or they'll get an extension, because the goal is to make sure that that player does not hit free agency, because the team then loses that player for nothing. In this situation, losing James Harden for nothing might be the best thing. That might be the best play that there is available, because nobody wants to trade for him. Nobody wants to trade for him. The best way for the Sixers to get a star player is to let James Harden walk and just use the money that they were paying him to pay another star player that is actually worth a damn. Unfortunately for everyone involved, James Harden doesn't seem like he's a man of high character. And like, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. Look, I obviously don't know the guy personally. I'm speculating, and I'm not trying to say that he's like a bad guy or anything like that. But the whole world thinks James Harden is going to purposely show up out of shape. Like, those ideas didn't just come from nowhere. It comes from a pattern of behavior. There's actually a clause in James Harden's contract that says that if he doesn't show up for the Sixers, they can block him from playing for any other basketball franchise in the world. So he can't even go over to China and play. The Sixers could stop that if they really wanted to. So James Harden really has no choice but to show up for the Sixers and play. And since he has no choice, people think this is just the beginning and that James Harden is going to come into the Sixers facility and try and set the building on fire. Metaphorically, obviously. Because of this threat from James Harden, pretty much every talking head is sprinting with the narrative of Joel Embiid has to want out of this. He has to want out of Philly. Got to want out. And I think, honestly, they just want Embiid to end up on their team. And, you know, they don't want him on the Sixers. So they're like, oh, he's got to want out. Come to the Lakers. Come to the Knicks. Because, you know, that's where all the talking heads, their favorite teams are. But look, I know Embiid has been through a lot when it comes to trying to find him good running mates to make a championship run. And they pretty much failed on everybody except Tyrese Maxey. And Tyrese Maxey is so exceptional that, honestly, that might make up for all the other failures. You know, you just got to fix this James Harden situation and we're right back in it. You know, we were not that far off last year. Not, you know, we missed by that much. So it's not out of the realm of possibility to think that we could get back there again. I just don't think we can do it with James Harden. I don't think he's going to give everything that he can for that. You know, but this team's almost there, almost made it, and then this nonsense happens. You know, it sets us up. That sets us back for a year at least. But I don't think you blow it up. I think next year is the year. Like this year, you see what you can do with James Harden. If he shows up, great, but don't bank on that. And then after you clear the cap space from him leaving and Tobias Harris's contract expiring, you try and pick up a third star to pair with Embiid and Maxey, and you try and make a run from there. Look, there's also rumors that Daryl Morey secretly wants to blow up the team, trade Embiid, and let Tobias and James Harden's contract expire and just build around Tyrese Maxey. And look, I love Tyrese Maxey. He's my favorite player on the team, but if you believe that much in him, why not keep him with Embiid? Like, I don't understand that idea at all. Like, you got your guard, you got your center. Play the pick and roll with Maxey and Embiid. I don't understand why we're not trying to hone Maxey's playmaking skills. You know, see if he can distribute more and play a little bit more like James Harden as far as like being a distributor. But man, you're shooting, you're driving to the basket, you're playing transitions, all great. You need to step up that defense though. But Maxey's a fantastic player. I don't see why you would not pair him with Embiid. It just makes too much sense. Embiid's in his prime and Maxey is entering his prime. I think you keep them together. You get a third reliable star, preferably one that isn't on the downside of their career, and hopefully one that isn't as immature as James Harden. But that's going to be all for this one, guys. I'll see you on the next one.
Can't wait.
Love you guys. Peace.
Dark side, light this bitch up.